Fall. Yeah. I'm just going through the exact chronological events as they have taken place for the last 6 years. A petition for renewal and notice of hearing renewal of protection order on 7/5 of 2013. Yes. Sheriff's return of service order reissuing temporary protection order. Motion hearing, affidavit of mailing, declaration. This was the protection order that was put in the Sequim Gazette. Yes. And then I was called on my cell phone. Yeah. And the sheriff's department said, "Well, could you come over here? We have some documents for you." And I said, "Sure." And it was just across the parking lot. I was at the Tobacco Emporium in Sequim, and I thought it was, somewhat convenient to walk across the JCPenney parking lot and go over there. Yeah, yes, yes. Now, you can see here on 8/30 of 2013, Sheriff's Return of Service Order for Protection. Yeah. As I remember it, the expiration of the August 28th announcement in the newspaper, right? I should have been given 5 judicial days. Now, they had actually had a motion hearing, and as I remember it, I actually wasn't given 5 judicial days to prepare for the court hearing. Now, I had asked some questions since I was in the city. Shouldn't have been the police department that called me instead of the sheriff's department. Now, it wouldn't be that the sheriffs were getting paid to make shows, because, as I had mentioned, it seemed a little intimidating that on the one side you put it in publication, but then, maybe 4 or 5 days before the court hearing, you decided you were gonna call my cell phone number and you were going to serve me. Now, during this whole time, since I got to my grandmother's, actually, since I got to, would have been March of 2012, I always had a cell phone that was operational. And I'm just wondering why it is that they didn't call me the whole time. Now, when you call me once, that means that you could have called me for every temporary petition for a protection order. Yeah. And then you could have called me afterwards, motion hearing on 8/30 of 2013. Sheriff's return of service not served. Now, you notice that it actually says that each of the protection orders has to have what is going to happen once it is issued. Yes, yes, yes. Now, on this one, this was 2014. The clerk of the court shall forward a copy of the order on or before the next day to Clallam County Sheriff's Office. Yes, yes. But whomever served me in the public library didn't look like a sheriff. And I know it was 2 weeks later, and it would have seemed that somebody might have been able to contact me, could have emailed me, or actually, I had a telephone at that time. Yes, because they called me. Yeah. But they waited until November 8th of 2013. Now, I had made mention in an email that would be September and October, and it must have been the attempted service when I left Sequim, Washington, and I had moved to Centralia. Now, let's say you intentionally didn't try to serve me the protection order because it was issued for 2 years and you didn't want me to know that, but you called me on the telephone before there was a court hearing, even though it was put in publication. It seemed to me that somebody was intentionally trying to obstruct my right to have the knowledge when a protection order was issued, so they decided to wait until I left the county, and then they made it look like they attempted service when they didn't. Um, of all the telephone systems of every city police department, every sheriff's department, in every county of the United States, all of those elected or appointed to office in every state government, I just want to know who their internet provider is. Do they use voice over IP? And what kind of telephone systems do they have? Because when I get done suing every oath, badge, and attorney in the United States of America, you might not have a telephone system any longer. Now, I know that'd make it tough for the rest of the citizens. I mean, who do you pay for your telephone system? How much is your monthly bill as a city for the telephone usage of those that are employees? Could you give me the exact amount spent in telephone? I gotta talk to you for a second now.